this is going to be fun. I think it's going to be good for all of us.
I do too.
Yeah. So for those of you joining us here on our initial return to the podcast world, it's been a while for Miracle League. I'm here with my producer Donny Cucuzella. Good to have you with us. You're going to be helping us put together a whole bunch of video content.
Yep, it's going to be a lot of
fun. Absolutely. This is going to be a work in progress, right? Obviously. So we're going to see how it comes together. It's not necessarily that this is going to be a one-time podcast thing. There's going to be a number of different iterations that we're going to put together. I kind of envision different goals for each of these sessions that we're putting together. Some focused here on giving some awareness to Miracle League and getting the word out, and we'll be joined by our friend Julia from the Miracle League of Palm Beach County.
Yeah, we will.
In a couple of minutes, that's going to be fun. But there's other things we want to do and kind of highlight the local businesses that support us here in the area.
Yeah.
So there's going to be opportunities. Chris Klein from Geico Insurance right down here on Route 33. He's going to be coming in. We'll be doing some podcasts, some interviews with local business owners.
Yeah.
Hopefully get the mayor on, get some local dignitaries and people that are in the day-to-day trying to make the community here even better than it already is.
And we'll hopefully be in a better setup than Zoom for episode 1.
Well, we do what we have to.
Of course.
But I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
I do too.
I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So even right now, I'm just fidgeting with the sound and everything. I actually don't even need these to keep going. Sounds better this way. But I'm excited, man. I thank you for being on. I would love if you could. I mean, you're going to be our behind-the-scenes guy, but you're also going to be coming up in front of the camera too a couple of times. So a lot of people know who I am and what I do, but I want people to know who you are and what you do, and talk about how we kind of came together and how we got to know each other.
Yeah. So I'm Donald Cucuzella, or Donny, as Dan calls me. I played baseball with Dan for the Thunder. He's my coach for 2 or 3 seasons. Yeah. And then he naturally introduced me to Miracle League. So I volunteered in Miracle League with winter workouts and then the summer from time to time. And I'm currently going to be a sophomore in the fall at Syracuse University, looking to go into sports journalism, mainly the behind the scenes of reporting and writing, and having on air a podcast with Dan, talking baseball and just everything going on in Mercer County and the Miracle League is going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it is going to be a lot of fun. You're so knowledgeable in baseball just in general. Is one of the things I think that really started the connection between you and me. Is just your general love for baseball, man. I absolutely love it. And you've been great for so many years, volunteering for the league and supporting, and to see you doing your internship this summer with Trenton Thunder and getting involved and seeing what you're looking to do. I'm really excited. I'm excited to help you in this whole process. You're getting more experience. You're going to be helping us do a lot of the production behind the scenes and whatnot. And like I said, getting in front of the camera too, and sharing some of your thoughts and vibes.
I'll mainly be when we get in the studio with everybody, I'll mainly be the host for the show.
Yeah.
I'll be introing stuff, getting you guys topics, maybe doing fun games.
Yeah, keeping us on schedule, right? So we're not going on forever.
Yep.
I have the tendency, the gift of gab, to just keep going on forever. So keep me in line, brother. Keep me in line. So in a couple of minutes, like I said, we're going to have Julia Kadel, the executive director of Miracle League of Palm Beach County, with us. But before we go there, just to kind of do a couple quick segments, I think we wanted to talk about what's going on in MLB right now.
Yeah.
Obviously, I think for people like us that love the game, we're trying to get as much in it now and appreciate it before it's going to go away for a while, because
it's going to happen.
I don't think there's any way around it. We're going to be going into a lockout, following the World Series. But let's start with the National League. What do you think? We were talking about this before we came on air. And it's all cyclical and it's crazy, and teams go up and teams come down. who do you have right now? Like, who are the teams that you're looking, the top teams that you think are going to make a big push come October?
So I really do want to say the Brewers because I really do like everything, but there's something with Milwaukee about getting to the NLCS and never getting the job done. And as much as it pains me to say, it's the Dodgers, and it's really not close. They've lost 7 in a row. They're in a wild card spot. I actually think the wild card spot can help them because I think the teams that have this extended break of not getting the wild card round, they can fall into a slump. They can fall sluggish. Yeah. If you're the team like the Dodgers, where you have 5 All-Stars in your rotation, it doesn't matter. You could pitch 3 wild card games, and you can say, "Oh, you're down your 3 top guys." You still have Snell, Yamamoto, Skubal, Ohtani. They have so many options at the helm that even if they did get put into this wild card series, they've lost now like I think 7 of 9. They'd still be fully equipped to have the guys to, participate or succeed in the NLDS.
Yeah. And we're seeing the cracks for the first time. This year with losing 7 out of 9. Now there is the expectation Snell's coming back soon.
I think he did last night.
He did last night.
I believe so.
Glass now coming back as well. They've really got any assortment that they can put together of, like you said, who's hot. At the end of September, who's hot, who's going to be our top 3 guys that we're going to make in the rotation. Now, so you're talking Dodgers. You mentioned Milwaukee. What about the Phillies? The Phillies are a very interesting team. They started very slow, as we know. Then they made the manager change with Mattingly. They got super hot, and now they've leveled off again.
Yeah.
What do you think is going on in Philadelphia?
It's just, there's a lot with Philadelphia. They've gotten Luis Ariz, and he's hitting .212 in his early start there. I don't know. I personally, I'm a Mets fan. Get this out of the way. I'm a Mets fan, so get that out there. And this is going to sound biased and going to sound wrong, but I think Philly should have blown it up after 2023. I think their window ended when you were up 3-2 at home versus 6-seeded Diamondbacks. You lost back-to-back games, got embarrassed at home, and then you keep trying to run it back with this core. You had back-to-back NLDS losses, and now you're going in. You got Ariz, who is honestly the best fit for the lineup, but I still don't know. Just something about the lineup doesn't feel like they can get the job done in October. They really had the window. I do think that they would have beat Texas in 2023 if they had gone. They were the better team on paper. But I just don't think that something with their rotation team that they don't have the stuff. Their guys lack the strength when it comes to October. Their stars really go away. Like Schwarber struggled the first 2 games, and that's why they lost the first 2 in Philly. Schwarber and Harper didn't do anything, and everyone felt quiet.
Well, I think the problem with the Phillies is very similar to the Yankees, right? Where it's incredibly streaky.
Yeah.
If you catch them when they're hot,
yeah,
they're unstoppable.
Yeah.
If they're not hot, they're incredible. They're ice cold.
Yeah.
And then that puts the pressure on the starting rotation, which has been great. It's been great overall, I would say. But then it really exposes the bullpen at the back end.
Their bullpen is weak.
There's nothing connecting their starting pitching to Duran at the back end.
The only thing that would be work for me is you push Wheeler and Sanchez to 8 if they could get to it, and then you go right to Duran. But or go Duran for 2 in a closer. But other than that, I don't trust Kirk. I mean, Brooks Raley's been good. Was good for the Nets, but he hasn't looked great in his first couple outings for Philly. I think that bullpen and the star power in October is really what's going to kill them.
The Phillies don't have that the 5th, 6th, 7th guy working in the rotation all summer here that they can rely on. Or what I think the Yankees are relying on, we'll move over to the AL in a second. Yeah. But I think the Yankees are banking on having a healthy Rodon with a Garrett Cole that looks like he's figuring it out. This is really still his spring training. And a healthy Max Fried. You have those top 3. Then you have guys like Warren. I didn't even mention Schlittler, who's actually really been the ace.
Yeah.
But then you have that combination of guys, and you have Adam Warren, and you have Clark Schmidt, and Ryan Weathers, and all of a sudden, do they become the pieces in the middle of the bullpen?
Right.
That gets you to Bednar at the back. And again, you look at it, he's 27 of 29 saves.
Yeah. Bednar's been very good. Yeah.
But pulling it back over. So I agree with you. I don't see the Phillies doing anything in particular. Milwaukee is just so. I think it's going to end up being those two again, right? Yeah. It's going to be the Dodgers and Milwaukee.
Yeah.
But does Milwaukee go toe to toe? 1 through 3 or 1 through 4 in a pitching rotation?
No.
That's
the difference. No, I mean Milwaukee's great, but then again, we've seen this time and time again. They get to October and consistently collapse. They fell in the wild card back-to-back seasons. The Diamondbacks and the Mets. They made it to the NLCS last year. They lost 4 games in a row. It's just I don't see a world where they can get there because they just keep running into a team that is hotter than them. The problem with them is they're consistently good. When you go into October, you don't want to face teams that are on a run.
Right.
So that's why them facing 6 seeds at home is tough for them because they're facing a Diamondbacks team that are streaking and a Mets team that are streaking, and then the Dodgers were coming off a wild card sweep and then a 3-1 series versus Philadelphia.
Right.
Awful one. So they're just running into teams who are red hot when they're just too consistent.
Yeah.
That's their problem.
Right. They found a way to manufacture runs the last 2 years without having a very deep lineup.
Right.
But does that work when you're running up against at least one ace and a bunch of number 2s? Like everybody else you can call a number 2 in that Dodgers rotation.
Yeah.
So that I think is going to be the thing. Julia jumped on. So she's on with us. I want to say hi to Julia. She's a very dear friend of mine. Julia, how you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Do you have her there?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
You hearing her?
Mm-hmm.
You hear me? I'm outside.
Oh, that's right, because I don't have my sound on now. Whoops.
I got my sound on.
There you go. Sorry, Jules. I don't have my audio on my end. That's my fault.
I got it. You want me to do mine?
Did you do that on purpose, Dan?
There you go.
Was that on purpose?
Good to see you.
Hey, bud.
So we're just having some conversations here about the National League and the American League, and then we're going to jump in and set you up to kind of give us a little bit of your background, because as we start building up this podcast back, I think the biggest thing is we want to just bring awareness to Miracle League in general, and just see that there are these carbon copies of Miracle Leagues that are doing really great work, and the people behind the scenes doing the work. I don't know if they really understand and appreciate what it is that we really do, and how much of our own time and commitment we make to it. This is really it. This is our thing. We live and breathe it every single day.
100%.
So, do you have any comments on the National League scenarios right now, and who's looking good and who's not? I know you're a giant Major League Baseball fan.
Huge. All I know is I'm so excited that Andrew Pollard is coming back into town, into the rotation in Delray Beach. For me, that was what I'm all excited about at this very point.
And where you are in Delray, you are sandwiched between a ton of Major League Baseball spring training locations, which is an amazing thing. And every time I come down, spend time with you guys, I love it.
Yes, we are. We certainly are. We're really blessed to be in this little slice of heaven, surrounded by the sun, the beaches, and baseball.
Oh, yeah. It's all the best. So, Donny, real quick, we'll just go through the American League before we get to Julia's story. American League's very interesting because you have 2 teams in the NL that we talked about, Milwaukee and the Dodgers, that are running away with it. And we didn't even mention the Braves, but the Braves still have a very comfortable lead at this point as well. And who knows? They could be the sneaky dark horse here that we're not talking about, and they could because I think amongst everybody, other than the Dodgers, the Braves have more thump than the Brewers.
Depends if they face the Phillies in the first round.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
They can't beat the Phillies.
For some reason, the Phillies are the Braves bugaboo. But moving over to the American League and talking about that, you have a Rays team that nobody's talked about all year, but they're just a typical Rays team that just wins 6 out of 10, or in a 7-day week, they're winning 5 out of 7 games. They're going 5-2 every week, and it's just. I wonder how the Yankees keep trying to tread water while their lineup is completely decimated. How long until the starting pitching cracks? Because their starting pitching's been absolutely phenomenal. Honestly, other than Detroit over the last 3 months, the Yankees still have the best rotation.
Yeah,
man for man there. And then looking at the West, that's a total bumble, because you've got 3 teams that are basically at 500 or below.
Yeah.
And the Mariners, the Rangers, and the Astros, and somehow suddenly the Astros are back in first place. But again, they're not blowing anybody away, really.
No.
It's the fact that the Mariners, who are really supposed to be the team in the West, just haven't showed up this year. What do you see happening there? What's going to come together?
Jeff Passan did a truly fantastic article on that, about the Mariners not being the team. I want to go to the Rays. They are the Brewers of the American League. Consistently good, but then again, the key to October, you need to be red hot heading into October. You could be the best team in baseball. If you have an 8-game losing streak and you're facing a team with an 8-game winning streak, the 8-game winning streak team is going to win 9 times out of 10. That's what's going to happen.
Right.
The Yankees are hard because they're treading. You say they're treading water. They've also been missing Judge. They're still missing Stanton. And when you come to October, you're not going to want to face a Judge, Stanton, Rice in the order. That's disgusting. No one's going to want to face that because you can't pitch around anymore.
Well, I think in that scenario, if you get Judge and Stanton back, and you have Rice, who is the Yankees MVP this year.
Oh, totally.
I wouldn't. Yordan Alvarez is pretty much locking up the AL MVP. But
yeah,
you have a lineup where you have, Trent Grisham.
You just went on mute somehow. I don't know what happened.
You have a scenario where you have Trent Grisham, Ben Rice, hopefully Judge back, hopefully Stanton back, and then you've got Garcia.
Very good.
And then you've got Elliott.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden the lineup becomes really deep again.
Yeah.
And you're looking at the 9-hitter being George Lombard, who's been pretty solid so far to start, and you hope Ben Rice can find a way to hit. Kind of mix them up there in the bottom of the order and hope that everyone else hitting becomes contagious and helps him out. But I see a stockpile of pitching, and I've been on this side of what I mentioned earlier about having Clark Schmidt coming back. That's your free agent pickup.
Yeah.
Having Adam Warren maybe go to the bullpen and let him just max out at 1 inning. You potentially have a dangerous bullpen. You put those 2 back there and Ryan Weathers, along with Bednar.
Yeah.
Then you're maybe looking at something.
Yeah.
You have a chance. I mean, you go for it all. Like, if you have the opportunity,
right?
If they do get it back, the only thing I'm really concerned about is Judge with the rib.
Yeah, what's he going to do? And can he get over his October demons? He was good in the DS last year, but
he was
lifetime. He has not been a great playoff player.
He hasn't been great.
No.
He's been okay at times.
From what you need out of your stars in October, he hasn't been to that level.
Right.
And real quickly, I want to talk about the White Sox are going to be a pesky team in October. They're a team that have gone under the radar. They have a ton of really good players over there and a lot of consistency. But back to the Yankees.
Well, I think your point on the White Sox is interesting because they are so young. How are they going to respond in the playoffs, knowing that you're going to have Rays, Yankees, and most likely Boston. Boston on a 4-game losing streak.
Doesn't matter.
With the 4-game losing streak, they've only lost 7 games in the last 2 months.
Yeah, I know, which is
even that altogether.
They were bound to slow down eventually.
They were bound to come back down to reality, regress to the mean, so to speak. But I don't see. I honestly, I don't see the pennant coming out of the Central or the West. it's going to be the Rays, the Yankees, or the Red Sox, whoever's hot, whoever's the healthiest.
And that's the thing. I think the Red Sox peaked too early. I think they needed to get back in the playoff push. But like I said, that momentum, that was your momentum. You won 27-30.
You can't sustain 27-3 record.
Maybe they can sustain 6 of 10.
Yeah.
Or 500. Because
right.
500 out gets them into the playoffs.
Right.
But you peaked early. I think they're gonna. I think they're just gonna steadily come back to earth and be like the 5 seed and lose to whatever team is the 4 seed in the wild card, because they're gonna have to go on the road, and that's what they did last year.
So, gun to your head, pick your 2 teams coming out of the NL and AL.
Yankees, Dodgers.
Yankees, Dodgers, World Series.
Yeah.
I'm a Yankee fan.
I know that.
Critical Yankee fan.
Yeah.
I want to say, and this is me pushing my side of it. Braves, Rays.
Okay. I think the Braves match up very well versus Dodgers, but again, I don't see a world where they don't go back to the Fall Classic. I just don't.
I think the whole world wants to see that.
I do too.
Wants to see them out of it, but yeah, no, I totally understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
All right, so we have a special guest with us, and we introduced her a couple minutes ago, and she's been sitting here patiently waiting for her moment. I literally love this woman. She is absolutely amazing. She is the work that she does down in Florida, in Paradise. Being able to create these fantastic opportunities for the special needs community in South Florida with such a wide reach. Palm Beach County, again, the biggest, we're talking about the biggest county in Southern Florida, Palm Beach County? I think you're still on mute there, Julia.
Dan, when she talks, I'm going to mute you so the audio isn't echoed.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, mute him.
So, you got me.
I got your audio through here. I got your audio through my computer.
So, Julia, give us first of all, the backstory, how you came into Miracle League. Tell us what it is the day to day with you operating the league, and then follow up and let everybody know what your great expansion is. What's happening most recently. Some very exciting news about how you're expanding to impact even more lives in Palm Beach County.
You are so sweet, Dan. Thanks for having me on. I greatly appreciate it. And you and I both know we are related. We are definitely your brother from another mother, for sure. And like-minded people just find like-minded people. And I think you and I got into Miracle League and the work that we do. I will say it really is a God-led experience journey for me on how I got here. For me and my husband, we were both coaches and raising 3 boys in the sports world, and it's just kind of what we did. And because our boys are a little far apart in age, we wanted to find a way to do something for our community while we were trying to be positive role models and teach our children that blessings are not to be kept, they are to be shared. And that's kind of how we started Miracle League. Is we saw that they were doing this in Georgia, and we thought, hey, this is something our family could totally do. And so we started it, I think, almost like everybody else. Let's build it and see who comes. And that was over 20 years ago. We are in our 21st year of building the Miracle League of Palm Beach County. We've been playing since 2007, which is really super exciting. We went from less than 20 athletes to we're well over 200. And it's just a whirlwind. As you know, that the more focus and the more efforts that you put into the special needs population, you realize how much they need advocates. They need people to support them and advocate for their children, because it's exhausting. And so for people like you and I that don't have children with special needs, but that have the heart and the gift to want to help and advocate and give these families an experience like everybody else, I think it's a win-win all around. So I'm blessed that I do what I do. But it is a little bit of a whirlwind, as you know. We're always plotting and planning and coming up with fun things. Um, so what's in our horizon? As you already know, we are planning our 9th Dinner on the Diamond. It's our annual fundraiser, which is really exciting. We do a little fundraisers throughout the season, nothing grand. This is our number one, our big one, which really helps keep our organization running for free for our athletes, while we can offer so much more to them as well. And we just broke ground on our 3rd location to serve more people, more individuals in our community, which is really exciting. So that's just 2026. 2027 is going to be crazy as well, but we got a lot going on.
It's so inspiring. We talk about it all the time, how I think we like, and I don't mean it's just you and me, because we have more people in the network that we've become very close with, other leagues. But I do love like the parallel trajectory that we've had. Like, we're both in our 21st year since incorporation. Like, we've just been running parallel for all these years, and over the last 6 years that we've really kind of we've run and then kind of done this and come together.
Yeah.
And I love everything about that, because I'll come down and spend time with you guys, and I get reinvigorated and inspired with new ideas, and I try to share ideas with you guys and reinvigorate you, and all of that just adds to like the total mission that you talk about. And I think one of the biggest things, I've been writing a lot of grants lately, and in the process of writing these grants, the one thing that I've really focused on, and probably needed just personally for my own acknowledgement of reminding myself of what it is that we do. We don't always know how much time we're going to have with our kids, with our players. That's the sad truth. We don't know. And when we lose players, I know you've had a little bit more frequency, unfortunately, than we have, but we had one this year, a couple of months ago, who sadly passed. It is that reminder in the back of your mind that everything we do is to provide, with the time we have, as much dignity and just straight up opportunity to just coexist, to be together. It just so happens we do it through the baseball meeting, right? Like, that's just what Miracle League is. It's what we've done. But just having those opportunities to just be present with our players and the parents, and letting everybody, the parents and the families, coexist together and form relationships and support each other. That's really what it is at the end of the day. And
Amen.
Right?
Amen.
Going on these trips, us coming down, like I brought 7 families down to visit you last November. We are working on doing some tournaments in the future, coming back down to you. Like, we have our annual travel series that we're going all over the place. We want to look at the calendar year that we have and fill as many dates as possible with opportunities to do something fun, memorable, so those memories are there. Because, like I said, when you look at the end of the day, how much time do we have?
Yeah, and that's also too. It's a hard thing to describe, especially in a grant. That this is so much more than just baseball, right? So when people hear the word Miracle League, this Miracle League, that, or whatever location that you're in, the one thing I've been trying to turn the tides on is that, yes, we do baseball. Yes, we do cheerleading. Yes, we do one-offs. We do this, but we are way more than that. We are a community where, my kids played baseball, and that was great. There was the teams got together, and then on the season, we all went out to dinner together, and it was a little family. But then after the season was over, everybody kind of just went and they all did their thing. This is a little bit different. This is where the athletes are becoming friends with their buddies, their baseball buddies that are now extending off the field and past the season. The families, the parents are getting to know each other and talking about, hey, what doctors or what therapies, what worked for you? What do you guys do next? So it's a whole nother level of connection for parents that parents on the regular traditional baseball leagues kind of take for granted. They have no clue that these parents, what they're going through and what they're struggling with, and the siblings. So when people say, oh, well, Miracle League, it's just baseball, let me tell you, it's just way more than baseball. There's not an off season. We take the time to get to know every single family member on our roster, everything about the athlete. We're with them through their highs, their lows. When we have a kid who's in a hospital, we are there. When there is an athlete that has passed, there are memorials. There are, we are more than just baseball. So I love what you guys do. And I love, like you said, there's that common theme that all of us directors kind of, intertwined in this parallel thing, but it's getting people to understand that, yes, we use baseball as just the vehicle for all of the other connections, the ripple effects, they're all ripple effects of just one little tiny thing we do on a baseball field.
It's yeah, I think, and I don't want to speak for you, but I go to bed every night. I put my head on the pillow and I know I've done everything I can that day. Whether I've been physically with our kids on the field with them, teaching them, playing with them, or if I've spent the day locked in my office writing a grant or just working on the calendar for the next year and filling those dates, like we said, like there's always every single day there's a purpose and something we're checking off some box to make sure that this whole family unit is getting all the opportunity that they can.
Yeah.
So we only have a couple more minutes here. So if there's anything you want to share, or Don, do you have any questions for Julia?
No, okay. I just think it's awesome that you guys are so far apart and still so connected with the Miracle League, and it shows how awesome this league has grown. And just to hear the story about how 20 years ago what it was and now what it is now is pretty awesome.
I'll be honest, Donny. Like we can't do it. I am speaking for Julia here. We can't do it without you. Like we need small armies.
Yeah.
Julia talks about having over 200 kids in the league. We have over 200 kids in the league. Same thing, parallel path, but we can't do it. Like Julia and her husband Jeff can't do it alone. I can't do it alone. You know, I found you in the process of life and coaching you with our travel team, but being able to teach you guys, the entire team, to come and be supportive and to see the light bulb go off, and so many of you guys ask me to come back.
Yeah.
Like you guys I never had to drag your butts to Miracle League in any form. You wanted to be here. You wanted to be here now. So that's a thank you to you.
Of course.
Thank you, Julia, for being on with us today and sharing a little bit about what the passion is behind what we do. We're gonna,
And thanks to you, because as I know that somebody who runs a nonprofit, we wear like 47 different hats. They all might be different colors, but they're all like we wear a tremendous amounts of hats. And Donald, thanks to you, because our volunteers are really the engine. We can't switch from hat to hat to hat unless we have a really good, strong vehicle that helps us do all of the things that we set off to do, to then make that family or that child or that individual feel incredibly important. And that objectively is our number one goal. So how do all those hats work is through the engine. So thank you for doing what you do. And I bet, actually, I think Dan probably wears 50 hats. I only wear 47.
No, it's pretty equal. But Julia, thanks so much for being on. Hopefully we can start building out these episodes consistently again, and talking with other Miracle Leaguers and doing the other things like we said. But that's a wrap for our first conversations with the Commish.
Yes.
I think that was a good episode. Julia, you're the best. I love you. I'll be talking to you a lot, and I'll be seeing you soon down there in Florida. And Donny, let's do it, man. I know you're heading back to Syracuse in a couple of weeks, but we're going to be doing this remotely and doing all the great work spreading the mission of the Miracle League. So thank you, brother. That's a good episode.
Yes, it is.
All right. We'll wrap it up, but we'll see you when we see you.
Bye.
Thanks, Jules.
See ya.